I want to tap you into the psyche of individuals that why they hate alternatives so much. It seems like a no-brainer. For some people it is, others it isn't. But you got to understand what's on the line for people that despise you. I will use myself as an example because I lived through this. A guy that's been a comic book lifer, loved comic books, and I used to talk about them all the time on my stream, had their pull list, talking about them every day, reviewing them right there. And, once it got to a point to where this was not a worthwhile investment, and I don't mean just financially, I'm saying, what the hell am I doing this for? And it's not because simply it was quote unquote woke. Those aren't the only problems. People that watch me understand that I had issues with the continuity more than anything, or the lack thereof, where you have these two companies from the big two putting out material that can be irrelevant 2 months from when it was released. Hell, the next month, wiped away from some stupid event. None of the events really matter. Multiverses all over the damn place. Those are my biggest issues. But, thankfully, in not just every form of not like just comics, but in every form of entertainment, you're seeing people that are trying to become, let's say, the solutions as opposed to just griping about the problems. And I don't say that to knock people that gripe about problems. Those people are very useful. I want to be clear about that. But more importantly, it's, people that got creative bones in their bodies. I do think it's worth giving it a try. And I gave it a shot. With the Rippaverse, we saw a lot of success, and you saw a bunch of people butthurt and mad. And you get the confused people that would come to work and say, what, man, what the hell? He just started a comic book. Maybe they hadn't been in on all of this stuff. They're not into the cultural stuff. They just saw me make a book. Maybe they were even interested in it. And they're like, what the hell is this? Why are they so mad at this guy for I don't understand it. And to that, I say that you need to understand what's on the line for them, right? A lot of the accusations that they're going to throw at you, slanderous and all that, it's often is. But, it's funny, the Nefarious movie came out and I got tagged in some post with some person that was mad at kind of some cross promotion that people are doing. And I'm like, the mainstream does cross promotion all the time. You have Shield Media, which that's literally all it is they do. But God forbid, because Steve Deace is prominent, let's say, in the circle that isn't full of a bunch of leftists, wrote the damn book that the movie is based on. And you have people that, because he's a producer of the film as well, you have people that are like, okay, we want to see this do well, so they'll talk about it on their shows. And you're seeing people that are in these non-leftist circles promote it. And then I saw this post of some dude that's mad at all that stuff, or think that there's something nefarious, for no pun intended, going on because that's happening. And I'm like, well, why could the mainstream do that? And then all of a sudden it's something wrong because their enemies do something that's of that nature. It's like, they say that, for example, with Rippaverse, it's like, well, the only reason that sees success is because you have folks that are, it's not woke, and you have all these people that are tired of X and O, and they use this as kind of a vehicle to try to, I don't know, maybe there's the world that they want to see and they think this could help them get towards it. So that's the reason they support it. And I'm like, okay, think about that, guys. Or if they say, well, let's say, they say the libertarians and all the conservatives are the only ones that support it. Think about that. What is fundamentally the problem with that? Let's assume that was true. It's not. It's not at all. But think about that. What is the fundamental problem with that? There is none, other than they don't like you politically. That they don't like you politically, and they hate to see their enemies seeing some level of success that they themselves can't control. That's what it boils down to. Why can Marvel or DC every goddamn month they're signaling to some crowd, right? Pride Month, everything's fucking gay. You have this month or that day and all that. They build whole marketing campaigns using their characters to signal to that demographic. They can do that, right? And generally speaking, the only people that are going to support them are their allies, right? Or the people that fit that bill. Why can they do that? But God forbid your political or social enemies go do something And then you're like, well, that's something wrong. They only support. Well, your allies do it. It ultimately boils down to that you're seeing a level of success that's at least competitive or comparable. And they can't control it. That's why they're mad. It's not a complicated thing. That's why they're mad. So they have to do these gay ops. They have to do start the hate campaigns, and they have to knock something based on something that it's not. They have to build a boogeyman that they need you to be. Oh, the only people that are supporting the Rippaverse are the white supremacists, because the thing that white supremacists in their little Klansman hats, the thing that they go around and want to spend money on and talk about is a book on the main cover. The only people on the front of it are black. That's what white supremacists are known for doing. They love doing stuff like that. They sit around, burn stakes and crosses, and they in these round tables with their hoods. And the one thing that they love to do is go support the work of things that have a bunch of black people on the front of it. That's what they love to. We're dealing with mental retardation, but it's not just that. They have boogeymen and dragons that they need to slay. So even they have a preconceived argument. And if you can't fit in that box, they're going to put you in it regardless. So they can say something like that, even though it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It is illogical. It is stupid. That's not. And I'm from the South, man. That's not what Klansmen are doing. Let's just say that. But they need y'all to be white supremacists. They need y'all to be misogynistic. They need y'all to be knocking something. Even though these are the two characters that, you guys came out in full force and supported, right? Somehow, because y'all supported this, somehow it still means you're racist and you're misogynistic. Does it make sense? No, they know it doesn't make sense. They're retarded. It just ultimately boils down to the fact that was their preconceived box. They needed a dragon to say. You got all these idiots to do these videos, especially on myself. They think they're little freedom fighters, right? They're taking it to the people that are bad. They're bad for the fandom. Bunch of fucking retards. But it just boils down to you see a level of success. They consider you their political enemy. They don't care about hypocrisy. They don't care about contradicting themselves. Because like I said, let's assume that someone saw success. And let's say the only people that they appealed to was libertarians. What's the problem? Let's assume that that's true. Let's assume that someone sold 100,000 books or something, and the only people that supported it were libertarians. What's the problem? You certainly wouldn't have an issue if a bunch of gay or lesbian folk went and supported something full force. Never is it going to cross your mind. Or let's say if they were conservative. Let's say if they were whatever they were. You would not have a problem in the event that it's you guys just going out full force and supporting something. But God forbid your social political enemies go do something that you can't control that makes you mad. You get pissed. Because that's what it was all about. I told y'all, man, we could sit here and talk about how things suck till we're blue in the face. What they are truly scared of is that energy manifesting itself to alternatives that they can do absolutely nothing to stop. That's what they are truly scared of. Not to say that they don't like the people that say, hey, I'm not interested in that or not. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the true fear, the thing that aggravates the living hell out of them is their political and social political enemies seeing a level of success that they cannot control, right? The cancellation doesn't work. Going to these people's funding because they are funding themselves doesn't work. It's not impactful. Calling them racist doesn't work. So all of the things that have got them basically pimped, it allowed them to pimp the entire mainstream doesn't work on us. And that's why they're mad. It's a simple thing. It's not that complicated. So when you look at something as a rational person and you say, yeah, he has his own opinions. I don't think it warrants the things that people are saying about him or saying about them and why are they so angry. It's because it is illogical. It was illogical from the jump. It never was supposed to make sense. You're just dealing with an irrational bunch of people. So you can't approach them the same way that you would approach someone that is reasonable, because they're not reasonable. And we're not done here. That's the funny thing, dude. We aren't done. We got a whole bunch of stuff that we're doing with the Rippaverse. But guess what? There'll be someone else in the coming years that's going to come along that's going to do it even better. It may not be in comics. It may be in some. They're going to do it better. But it'll be a similar structure in the sense that, well, the only channels that they went through are themselves. And you can't control it. And it'll be competitive. It'll be comparable. Leftists, for the most part, progressives, they're degenerates, so I wouldn't necessarily call them that, but they like to think of themselves as progressive. They get off on controlling things that people, regular people, non-leftist people as well, that they get off on controlling those things that they see as legitimate. Okay? If that makes sense. It's more so like with the big, hey, we got comic books that have been around forever. They've been around forever. And people love them. Maybe they're in the hands of now people that hate you, but that's what it is. What it is what it is. Nothing you can do necessarily change that. They get off on that. So when people say, okay, I'm going to give this other guy a shot. I'm going to give this other company a shot that is maybe in the same industry, but it's detached from you. So you spend less money, right, and financial support on these guys, and then you reroute it over here. That pisses them off. That makes them so angry, man. That makes them so angry. So they got to sit up here and try to find something that's wrong with you, demonize the audience, because that's their first instinct is to say, well, the people that support us are bad people, as if that's going to incentivize or de-incentivize you to buy it or disincentivize you to buy it. That's not what's going to happen. In fact, you are rallying our troops and you're too stupid to realize it. You think when you just say, hey, all of those people, I hate them. And you think they're going to like say, oh, well, I don't want to support. No. All you do is galvanize our troops. You're incentivizing them to be like, I will make another purchase. Buy the cover that I didn't have before. Buy the shirt that I didn't buy. Because your dumb ass despises just a bunch of guys that built their own sandbox and they're having a goddamn blast. That's it. It's not a rocket science. That's what they're scared of, and that's why they're mad. If you enjoyed this video and want to support other content, please become a member at ericdjuly.com. This is my own unique platform that replaced my Patreon. Our Ultramax, which is our highest tier, gets free shipping domestically, even with Rippaverse orders, and are able to redeem the Creators Edition copy of ISOM #1. You can move up and down tiers or cancel at any time. Also visit Rippaverse.com. This is my comic book company that launched a $3.7 million campaign. We appreciate your support.